Hello and welcome to the Master Along video for Split Second. Be sure to open the mix in your own DAW and follow along to maximize your learning so you can get better results when you master your next production. So here I've got Split Second set up here in Logic Pro, and usually I use a template, but I'm gonna be opening the plugins one by one to show you exactly what I'm doing so you can follow along with me. So we've got levels and reference on the master channel. I'm putting ref send as the first plugin here. What that does is sends the mix at this point into reference. So as I add more plugins below, it means that I'm going to be able to preview the before and after. So I'm going to create a little bit of space in between these different, I'll be adding the master chain here in this space. So I'm going to bring this down to give myself plenty of slots to use. Okay, that's enough. So the first thing we want to be doing here is just getting a very rough loudness to bring us up to speed here. So you're going to highlight the loudest section of the track. So it's just this end part here. I'm going to press play. Straight away we can hear that there's plenty of awful issues here that we need to be fixing. So let's start by getting the short-term loudness up to around -8, -7 short-term LUFS. So I'm paying attention here to this figure. I'm going to increase the gain. That's fine. Okay, so I haven't changed anything else. I've just kept all of the attack release link. That's all the same. These are just like defaults. So now we're going to have a listen to some reference tracks and get our kind of the frame of mind in the correct sonic space. So let's listen to a few of my favorite reference tracks that relate to this kind of like poppy genre. Okay, so we've got an idea there of what the song should be sounding like, and the first thing we've got to do is just get rid of those awful resonances. So we're going to go to mastering the mix, and we're going to go reso, and now I'm going to click this button here that's going to allow me to sweep through the frequencies and hear where the issues are. So in this example mix that I've got here, the resonant issues are in different locations to the ones that you'll be working with. So I'm going to show you how I search for them here. So we'll press play and have a listen. So I'm listening for anything that's poking out of the mix. I can also click Control and just move the mouse around. The idea here is that you are listening for stuff that kind of just pokes out of the mix. And I can also see it in the frequency spectrum. See these ones here. I'm using the scroll to change the cue as well as using Control to move this thing up and down the node, just because a broader cue can help me capture more of that resonance, and then I can just adjust the threshold in accordance with the cue to kind of make it sound as nice as possible. So that's what we're removing. So now that those resonances are removed, it is sounding a lot better already. So I'm going to go on ref send, so that's going to show me the difference between the signal here, then it passes through these plugins and goes to reference. So I'll click level match to make sure they're at the same level. We can hear the change already. It's massive. So let's go to the other pop tracks and see how it's sounding now. So here we can see against this track, If I'm Lucky, what we're looking for is, so this is the white level line in reference, and I've done a freeze frame here so we can see what it's kind of captured at. And around 13,000 hertz, we're looking for almost a 10 decibel boost in the high frequencies. A little bit of reduction around these mids around 750 hertz. And then the low end is very comparable when you account for this area here. So it might be a case of adding a little bit and then addressing the low end separately. But let's deal with this high end boost first, and we'll take it from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an instance of Mix Room, and I'm going to load in the If I'm Lucky. If I'm Lucky. There we go. So I will just loop the end. So I'm looping the loudest section of the track, and that's going to create the tonal balance for me to compare to my track, and I can then create the tonal balance in Mix Room based on that. So I'll create that, and I'm going to start playing this track here. So just as we saw in reference, Mix Room is telling me we need a huge boost in the high frequencies. So what I'm going to need to do here is take it off mastering mode and put it into mix mode, because this is mastering mode only allows me to cut or boost up to 4 decibels. So go to mix mode, and now we'll go add smart bands. So now we just have to line up the white in line with the green. Get that white line up there. Okay. So this is my starting point according to Mix Room. So let's have a listen. That's before. So now we're much closer to the tonal balance of this one, and in terms of where we've gone from and to, so again, this is the original mix. A dramatic improvement. Okay, so that's again a very quick look at the EQ there. We can dive a bit deeper and a bit later on. So, but let's move on to the compression here. So I'm going to click here to get our compressor. So what do we like to do here? A good starting point is take off auto gain, keep it at 0. We want to just be tickling the threshold and bringing it down. So the 2-to-1 ratio is good. We need a threshold that means that the reduction on the VU meter is only going down between 2 to maximum 4 decibels. So let's see. I like to have it returning back to 0 each time. So it does depend on the transients here. Sometimes these transients are not massive in comparison to the rest of the mix. So if it just tickles it by 1 decibel, that's also fine. It has to return back to 0. I think that works best. I like having the distortion on soft. It just gives that bit of soft clipping, which gives the transients a bit of edge. But again, this is very subtle, just taking the edge off. And that's kind of the approach we want for this kind of transparent mastering. Good improvement there. So let's keep going. So let's move on to stereo width. So here I'm going to fire up Isotope, Ozone 11 Imager. I'm going to have to implement a couple of bands here. So we want a low band, we're going to have a low mids, and we're going to have a high band up here. And we control these down here. So we've got the low end, we're going to mono that. The 100 to 600 hertz, we're going to leave that as it is, and then the upper two, 600, a little bit of stereo width, and then the high frequencies, a lot more stereo width. So let's go from there as a starting point, and we'll have a listen to see how that sounds. So what this extra line here in Trinity Display, the stereo width is showing me, this is the blue area, how the width of the various frequencies are in comparison to each other. And when we compare it to Don't Start Now, actually our track is much wider now that I've introduced these, so I might have to revert on this. Noticing that in this range here, actually, so now we're pretty comparable with these adjustments. I'm finding that these low mids are actually a bit wider in the reference track. Very slight. Let's see. It's more comparable. What I might do is in this boost we've got here, I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit more mid-focus so it's not boosting the sides so much and giving us that stereo width. So let's bring this a slightly, just maybe 70%. See, now it's a little bit in the, more focused in the mids, not so quite so much in the sides. So that's sounding much cleaner now. So let's we're going to finish up with dialing in the right low end. We can use the same approach as we did before. So we're going to open up bass room. Going to look at the import our own reference track here. Go to Tom's reference tracks. If I'm lucky, which is the same reference track as we used before, I'm going to highlight the same section, create targets, and let's go again. So I'm going to line up these bands here with the suggested targets, and that's going to give me the same low-end tonal balance as the reference track, and then we can tweak it from there. sounding much better, sounding very comparable to the reference track as well. Certainly a huge improvement. And now I think we just need to go back into Reso a little bit and see if we can tidy up those resonance a little bit more.
Suddenly, everything changed. The moment you looked at me, I could see so different. You're next to me, I can breathe like I'm real. Everything's changed. I didn't know I could be so different. In a split second, I was stuck in the dark, Something was missing deep in my heart. Needed a new flame to spark. I was stuck in the dark. You know how I was missing deep in my heart. 'Cause things didn't work. Flame to spark. I was electric, me suddenly, and everything changed. The moment you looked at me.
Nice. So that's pretty much it. So we've got the tonal balance there, we've done the compression, we've done some stereo width, and controlled those resonances. So now we just want to bounce this out and check in Expose to see how it's sounding in there. Okay, so we've got some issues here. So first of all, the loudest section of the track is just quite simply just too loud. So we want to bring that down. That's the short-term loudness. We want to bring that down to be around -6.5, -7.5 in that realm. So we need to reduce the limiter by about, we can see here, short-term target is this, so we could reduce the limiter by around 3.7 to get a maximum short-term loss of -9. So what we might do is just do by, let's do by 2.7. So that's going to be 0.7 and then by 2, so 15, 15.5. What we can also do here is optimize the attack and link. So what we do is we'll play the song and we'll just click analyze.
Suddenly, everything changed. The moment you looked at me, I could see so different. You're next to me, I can breathe.
So now we see these are all in the correct ranges. So the gain is where it should be, the attack is just a little bit more open, and the link is optimized for the stereo correlation of this actual track. So let's analyze it again and see how it's sitting. Okay, so that's much better now. So we've got a little bit of left-right balance issue going on here, but this is just in the beginning. So I'm not too worried about that because that happens when there's just, if the track is leaning to one side, left or right, too much. But it's not a problem if it's in the beginning because there's only one instrument playing. When the other instruments come in, it's nice and well balanced, so it's not really an issue. And now we have it at -7.3 short-term LUFS as an absolute maximum. So that's exactly what we want to be seeing. We can also see in Compare EQ, if we go here again, we'll go Tom's reference tracks, go if I'm lucky, which is our same reference track as before. So let's analyze that. So I'm going to balance it out against the reference track that's loaded. So here we can see how our tracks compare, and we'll just go for this second example there. So it's very, very comparable. This is in ±5 decibels, so it's within, the low end is about 2 decibels less, up to 200 hertz. Got a little bit more of a boost here in the mids, and then it's very comparable in the high end. And there's, differences in instrumentation, arrangement, instrument choice, sound design. So anything within ±3 decibels is fine. So this is absolutely in the realm of acceptable, and I'm very happy with how it's sounding, and it's certainly an improvement. And now we've checked and everything is in order. So this is good to go. So this is how you check your audio, this is how you check your masters, and you can compare it against my finished master as well. I've included that in the download, and be sure to rinse and repeat. So try the other mixes included and see if you can get better results each time as the mixes get harder and harder. Okay, good luck, thanks for watching, and let's keep pushing together, and we will get your masters sounding better than ever.